Yo, what up, world? 502 King Paul. Man, I cannot tell y'all how many times I've been out in public at the barbershop, just out doing my everyday thing, and I hear this over and over again about how, man, the kids today are so wild. The kids today are so crazy. The kids today don't value life. The kids today, man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm a grown man, so I don't blame kids for being kids. I blame the parents. I blame the older people, the older generation that is above these children that has kind of created this culture that we live in now, man. I've noticed that we live in a very youthful society now where nobody wants to get older. Nobody wants to grow up and actually be mature. I got a 10-year-old daughter. She'll be 10 this year. I got a 10-year-old daughter, man, and she talks all the time about, Daddy, I can't wait till I get older so I can drive. I can't wait till I get older so I can have a house. I can't wait till I get older so I can do this and do that, go out with my friends, go to the mall. And it's like once you get to adulthood, people want to start going in reverse. And as we all know, man, time moves forward. It always moves forward. You are as young right now as you will ever be in your life. You're not going to get any younger. You're continuously getting older. The seconds that just went past in this video, the minute that'll pass and coming up here next, you can never get any of this back. So why are we so fixated on maintaining our youth? I don't understand why it's not cool nowadays for people to get older, to be more mature. And why is this an issue? Why do I bring this up? Because when you have the older generation, and I mean my generation, the 40s, 50s, 60s, when you have people that are older that are not fully accepting their age and fully accepting the responsibility that's supposed to come along and the maturity that's supposed to come along with their age, it leads to a lack of mentorship. It leads to all these wild and crazy kids running around. It leads to our society as a whole not progressing to where it needs to be. That's why, man, you see so many people nowadays that, you know, it's the OGs, quote unquote, the older generation that's supposed to be leading the next generation in the right direction. They're too busy out trying to hit the parties up. They're too busy out, man. I know a dude who is a grandfather. He is a grandfather, but he's at all the parties. Got to have all the Jordans. Got to have all the latest clothes and this and that and trying to just keep up with the young dudes. I mean, why do you not want to accept the fact that you're a grandfather, man? I don't understand this type of mentality. You're supposed to be leading your kids. You're supposed to be leading your grandchildren into a better life. They're supposed to be looking up to you like grandpops is the man. Dad's the man. He's doing what he's supposed to do. This is what a real man looks like. Instead of looking at him as, I'm kind of in competition. We're in competition for the same women. You know, we're in the same clubs together. He's out at the little teeny bopper clubs with the young kids, man, instead of trying to be a grandfather. Not saying that life just goes on pause, but what I'm trying to drive home here is that age does not mean life stops. It's not uncool to get older. And a lot of us, my generation included, man, I'm 30 years old. My generation included, a lot of us are like, I see all the posts, man, I'm about to turn 30. Does it hurt? I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. Man, life only gets worse if you continue to do nothing to progress forward in life. That's where life stops for you. If you're one of those people who are my age, still living back in your high school days, still living back, you know, in your glory days, quote unquote, and you're still not progressing forward in life, you're still talking about the girls you used to get, the stuff you used to have. Man, there's a line by 50 Cent. I know a lot of people have heard it before, man. He says, in high school, you was the man, homie. What happened to you? Like, you so caught up in this trying to live a childish life, man. That's why there's so many, you know, I talked about the grandfathers. There's so many mothers that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. They are trying to be their child's friend instead of being a mother. Instead of raising up your daughter in a way to where she can be a housewife or she can be just a good woman in general, you're trying to raise her up to be a party girl. You know, there's so many grandparents now that's out on these vacations, the guys trip, the girls trips and all this. Man, you got to leave that stuff behind in your past at some point. There's no reason why you should be, you know, in your 40s, 50s, even at a certain point in your 30s, man, you should not still be on this whole, yeah, we need to take a girls trip. Now, I could understand getting out with the girls, going for a dinner, getting your mani-pedis, getting your going out to the mall. I can understand that. But as far as trying to be out on Instagram, trying to be seen, trying to be in the mix on the scene with everybody, man, it gets played out at a point, man. It gets so played out. Nothing grinds my gears more than seeing a grown man or a grown woman still continue to carry themselves like a young child. And not only are they doing this with their own life, but then they're projecting this down to the next generation. So now the next generation's thinking, man, I got all day. I got all my life to play around. I'll be a grandma, I'll be a granddad when I'm 80. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I'll be a good husband, or I'll be a good wife, I'll be a good father, a good mother when I get up there. But right now, I'm still living my glory years. Question: when do the glory years stop? When do the glory years, meaning really the years that you just running out doing whatever with your life, being reckless, when does that stop? When do you stop trying to be the life of the party everywhere that you go and start trying to be a mentor to the next generation? I'm putting out this video because I'm so sick of hearing the older generation blame the kids. They have no respect. They don't have manners. They don't do this. They don't do that. All these kids on drugs. All these kids out here killing and stealing. Who raised them? You ever heard of the comedian T.K. Kirkland? He says, who raised you? Who raised you, man? Who raised you to be the type of person that you are? And yes, we all know that you can grow and get better as you get older, but a lot of us, we just model what it is that we've seen in our life. That's why a lot of times your relationships will mimic your parents' relationships. A lot of times the things that you go through, your vices, all these different things that you go through on a personal level, they came from you watching this as a child, from someone who is above you. Doesn't necessarily have to be mom and pop. It could be your cousins. It could be your uncles, your aunties, whoever it is that were around you that was of influence in your life. So I'm putting out this video because I want particularly my generation and the generations above, man. It's a saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So some of these people, once you get to a certain age, it's pretty much a lost cause because they're stuck in their ways. But I really want to drive this home with the generation that can still make an impact, make a difference, man. We need to start modeling better behavior for this younger generation below us, for the next generations coming up. If we model better behavior, if we carry ourselves in the right way, in a respectful manner, then they'll start respecting. That's why they don't respect the OGs. They don't respect the dads, the moms. They don't respect the older people in the family. They don't respect the older people in the community, because what is there to respect? What is there to respect when you got older people who are still running around doing the same thing that you're doing? What is there to respect when you're more in your bag? And I don't just mean monetarily money, but you're more in your bag of life. You're more in your bag of success than this older person. What is there to respect when they're setting a bad example for you in your life? So I just want to drag this home, man. I really, really want us to start making a positive impact on these younger folks' life. Stop blaming the younger generation for things that we have put in place for them. I'm saying myself as well. I'm not excluding me from this, because there was a good point in my life. Like I said, I'm 30. For some of y'all, that's old. That's washed in your mind. You know, that's old and washed. For some of y'all, that's pretty young. But I spent more of my life than what I would have wanted to, setting a bad example for the ones up underneath me. So many people run across me today still, and they just got this picture of the old Paul in their mind. Man, I remember you was wild. You was doing this and that. You know, you was doing all this stuff, and you was running through all these girls. You was doing this. You was doing. I mean, when they watched me, it taught them. And we're influenced not only by the ones that are much older, but by the ones that are a little bit older. You know, there are people who I went to high school with, I went to college with, that were just a year or two behind me, but they looked up to me because they saw me with all the things that they wanted. And they thought, I got to be like him in order to get it. Some of these things are excusable when you're at that age, high school, college, I get it. But when it gets to a certain point, when you're in your mid-20s, you got to start carrying yourself like a grown woman. You got to start carrying yourself like a grown man and set the right examples for these next generations coming up behind us. No reason why it should be a dude that's 50-something years old, still walking around, pants sagging, got to have on sneakers all the time, just dressing like a young dude with the fitted hats. And I mean, you got to grow up, and there's nothing wrong with getting older. Getting older should bring maturity. It should bring wisdom. It should bring just a lot of experience that you can use to set a better example for that next generation. So hopefully y'all like this video. Hopefully this video gets out to the right people, right when they need to hear it, man. If you are someone who's watching this channel, you definitely have the right kind of mindset. Be that inspiration, be that motivation for the next generation coming up behind us, because they desperately need it. And we're seeing our families decline. We're seeing our societies decline. We're seeing the world decline because we do not have enough leaders, enough mentors in this life to help out the ones that's coming behind us, man. 502 King Paul, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.